Indignation and rejection have been generated by the images of the use of the apparent corpse of a dog as bait to attract sharks off the coast of San Andres. The serious fact became known through a video circulating on social networks where you can see the way in which a man throws the tied animal to the sea. According to the widely disseminated audiovisual material, the man's actions led to fun for him and the people heard around him in the video. Reactions on social networks were not long in coming, and the case was echoed by the authorities, who immediately began the search efforts that led to the capture of the alleged perpetrator of the reprehensible case.
Coralina's personnel, together with the National Police, captured a person who was baiting sharks in San Andres.
After the cooperation of the community, who placed the denounce in a timely manner, the National Police captured in flagrante delicto this afternoon a person who was in the reef area of the western side of the island of San Andres, allegedly baiting shark with a deceased canine.
This bad practice of throwing animals is being investigated. The National Police have already managed to capture the individual who appears in the videos and will soon take the necessary steps to establish what happened and the sanctions to which that person may have to respond.
Coralina rejects any act that threatens wildlife, including baiting activities. The Environmental Corporation also reiterates to the community that these bad practices must stop immediately, since it not only alters the natural conditions of marine biodiversity, but also can attract potentially dangerous animals to the coast, with direct impact on tourism, in the safety of people, and repressive actions against protected animals which are in their natural habitat.
Similarly, the Environmental Corporation indicated that the case would be an environmental crime.
Through a press release issued by Coralina regarding the use of the lifeless body of a dog for shark baiting, the Environmental Corporation points out that any action that threatens protected fauna, such as sharks, is considered an environmental crime and could result in sanctions such as 1. Fine after violating Law 1801 of 2016 National Code of Police and Citizenship Coexistence in Title 9, Article 101, Numeral 9. 2. Violation of the uses permitted in the zoning of the Marine Protected Area Agreement 002 of 2019, violation of the closed periods and/or damage to natural resources, application of Law 1333 of 2009, environmental sanctioning procedure by Coralina. 3. Sanction for the use of fishing gear prohibited in the department and for illegal fishing activities and/or violation of closed fishing season, Departmental Secretariat of Agriculture and Fisheries. 4. In the event that a person is caught in flagrante delicto violating the regulations, not only the material with which the law is violated may be confiscated, but also the vehicles or goods, for example, boats or similar, the Coast Guard. 5. Illegal hunting and fishing are protected through the national territory as a crime, according to Article 328 of Law 1453 of 2019, which establishes a fine of up to 35,000 legal monthly minimum wages and imprisonment of 48 to 108 months.
Animalists and veterinarians in the department see as inhumane and abusive the situation that they say has been occurring in the department due to the lack of environmental awareness and education.
With sadness and impotence, Juliana del Castillo, founder of the Animal Hurt Foundation, and Ethel Ben, animalists see the recent events, a situation that, according to them, unfortunately has been occurring in the department for several years and has continued for the lack of education and awareness of animal care.
As the director of the foundation and as an animal lover and as a citizen of the island of San Andres, at this moment I am in shock after seeing the images of what happened today with the little animal, with the little dog that was thrown into the sea as shark bait. This is an outrageous act. It is a totally despicable act that a human being, if you can even call him that, took a defenseless being that we do not even know if it was really alive or dead, or if they killed it to do this, and then you have people who were celebrating it. An absolute rejection of the images or the fact that today again put our island, our biosphere reserve, sea flower, is in the world's eyes by the inhumane practices that we have as islanders with our pets, with wild animals, with our animals that abound in our reserve. This group of sharks with dogs is not a new thing. This has been going on since I was a little girl.
With their heart in pieces, these two animal lovers and caregivers spoke to Teleislas News about the image that once again put the department in the spotlight of the world as a hellhouse for animals, a fact that disappoints and discourages those who every day safeguard the life of these animals.
This news has caused outrage in all the people who are dedicated daily to safeguarding the lives of animals. It is very unfortunate that this type of situation of animal abuse is still occurring on the island, and sadly, it is where we see that as a society we are lacking in love and respect for these voiceless animals.
According to these three women, there is an urgent need for more awareness and education on the value and care of animals on the island so that these acts do not occur.
And in other news, the Colombian Ocean Commission announced the appointment of Ana Isabel Marquez as a new member of the Scientific Committee of the National Plan of Marine Scientific Expeditions.
The Colombian Ocean Commission presented the anthropologist and teacher based in the archipelago, Ana Isabel Marquez, as one of the new members of the Scientific Committee of the National Plan of Marine Scientific Expeditions. Among her functions will be to approve research projects that will be part of the Sea Flower and Pacific expeditions.
The appointment is an invitation that I received from the Corporation Center of Excellence in Marine Sciences, a center that brings together several Colombian universities with sponsorship from Germany, which this year is making the scientific follow-up of the Sea Flower and Tribuga expedition, for which these initiatives are in terms of scientific sovereignty. As a scientific committee, the idea is to guide the purpose of the expeditions from a scientific and academic perspective, which in themselves are scientific, but had not had this type of mechanism to guide the process.
Marquez is a professional in anthropology, a professor at the Caribbean University, masters in sustainable tourism management, as well as a PhD in social sciences in development, agriculture and society from the University of Rio. The professional raised on the island of Providence hopes that the knowledge offered by these expeditions will be put to benefit of communities for the recognition of environmental wealth and conservation of ecosystems in the country.
Order to comply with the state policy for the integral development of early childhood, the Ministry of National Education regulated the provision of early education services.
In the National Development Plan, the national government made early education one of its main commitments, recognizing that the foundation of human and social development are laid in early childhood. Consequently, it was approved to strengthen the quality condition in which the educational service is provided, as well to expand its coverage. By virtue of this, with the issuance of Decree 1411 of 2022, the Ministry of the National Education establishes the condition of all early education services in the country, both official and unofficial, to be provided within the framework of the comprehensive care and guarantee of quality service, focus on promoting the development of children under 6 years of age, as well as making explicit the importance of providing care to pregnant women in order to strengthen the role of the family in the first years of life. In accordance with this regulation, early education is ratified as an unpostponable right of children and educational service that can be provided by official and non-official educational establishment, schools, the Colombian Institute of Family Welfare, territorial entities, and private providers.
And at this time, we will head over to Providence and Millicent O'Neill with all the information of that municipality. Good night, Millie.
Good evening to all our viewers. This is the most relevant information from Old Providence and Catalina. The thefts of construction materials continue in the municipality. A situation that had apparently been reduced is once again resurfacing.
The theft of building materials continue in the municipality. Workers denounce that they have been victims of this scourge again and again, which harms them and slows down their work.
We were robbed the first time, and they tried to rob us again 10 days ago. We practically caught the criminals, but it is not considered infraganti because they ran away.
Although the workers had seized the motorcycle that was used for the robbery, it was reported as stolen and returned to the owner. So far, there are no results to the investigation.
The first time we were robbed about 70 rubber rods, already cut up, and steel rods already bent, and they stole 2 rows of electro-welded mesh. All this is worth about 3 million pesos when placed here on this island.
Last night, materials disappeared again from a house under construction.
We found in a material storage site that 14 sheets of marine triplex were missing, the broken padlocks and the master's tool.
Also, owners asked to investigate the situation because it leaves them with doubts.
Well, they have a situation selective into material by the house fit 3661. Although we have our secure zone to put up this material, which is in part of Sopesa land where they have personnel 24 hours a day. So they never put it up there, and now they claim that somebody takes the material. I'm going to have my doubt about it.
The community is asking for results regarding the burglaries that have been ongoing.
And in other news, the dock is 95% complete. The operating platform is finished and will be delivered next week.
The construction of the municipal dock is already in the last phase. The operating platform was completed in recent days and only 5% will be missing to fully complete the work.
We are currently at 95% of the pier. We finished the operations platform and we are going to start with the access viaduct. We still need to install the lateral fenders and the installations of it likewise.
Next is the demolition of a section of the old dock for the reconstruction of a ramp as well as the reorganization of building material.
The dimensions of the maneuvering platform are 80 meters long and 50 meters wide, and the pipeline will be 20 meters long by 40 meters wide. We are going to build the access ramp, which is the second line that we still have to finish in order to complete the dock.
The official delivery of this first section of the work is projected for beginning of next week.
This is all we have for tonight for the section of All Providence and Catlina. Continue in San Andres, Lisa, with more Teleislas news. Good night.